Welcome back. Thanks for joining. And I want to share something that Tony Robbins talks about. He says that one of the basic human needs that you have, that I have, is certainty. We want certainty. We want to be certain. Well, here's the reality: you will never always be able to be certain about everything, right? You can't be certain about your future. You can't be certain about other people's opinions and intentions. Um, you just can't be certain about everything all the time, right? And so that's where a number of practices come in, right? That's why one of the things that Stoicism emphasizes is, not focusing on the future, not focusing on the past, not living in worry because it doesn't serve you, right? Not focusing on things outside of your control, things that are external, right? Those are not things you can control. But these are often things we do dwell on, right? We really struggle with those. I struggle with those. A lot of times I get caught up on externals. I get caught up on other people's thoughts and actions. I get caught up on the past, the future, things that are outside of my control and things that are uncertain. And well, that creates trouble, right? That creates anxiety, that creates worry, that creates depression. Um, and perhaps you know that. Perhaps you're experiencing those kinds of feelings or problems, and maybe because it's you can't be certain about something that's on your mind, something that's been a problem, or that you are identifying as a problem. um, well, guess what? That's where faith comes in, right? Faith is the, I want to say, the balance. It's the opposite side of the seesaw for certainty. It's the tool to use when you can't be certain, right? Because you can't be certain about everything, like we just established. um, And so, what do you do when you can't be certain about everything? You adopt, or you pick up your tool of faith. And faith is what allows us to find peace in those moments, to step away from the worrying, to maybe let go of those emotions that are causing that we're experiencing of anxiety or depression. Because you can't be certain about everything, but what can you do about everything? You can have faith. You can have faith in your future. You can have faith in the way you perceive other people's judgments and opinions and actions. You can have faith that people are going to act to the best of their ability, whether they are or not, right? And there's other tools you can use. There's other tools. Um, and I think Stoicism gets into a lot of those other tools, like, again, not focusing on things outside of your control, not focusing on things that are external, right? But faith is there to replace certainty when you can't have certainty, because you can't have certainty all the time. You can't have certainty. And again, I would say your future. That's probably the biggest. That's probably where people most struggle with certainty. They want to know. They want to already be there, and wherever there is, they want it to have worked out to their imagination's ideal. Um, and of course, we also know that what we imagine, sometimes things happen better than we could possibly imagine, right? So when we try to put ourselves somewhere that we're not meant to be yet, or that we're not at yet, or that we're not ready to be at yet, we ruin the opportunity for things to happen better than we could have imagined, right? We say, I want to be, you know, already in next year with, the house that I envision, and the family I envision, right? And well, guess what? It doesn't happen like that, right? And we typically worry, and we typically are uncertain about whether that's not going to happen. But a lot of times, a year later, we find ourselves in that position, and we have an even bigger house that's even more beautiful than we could have imagined, with not just a family, but new friends in the neighborhood, and things happen bigger and better than we can imagine a lot of times. But we don't allow that, because we get caught up on on just wanting to get what we can envision. So remember, you can't always have certainty. That's just a reality. And it's not a comfortable reality. But you can find comfort in two things. And one is the fact that sometimes things, and many times things work out better than you could have imagined, and better than the certainty in that moment could have provided. And the other thing is faith. Faith can give you that surrendering ability, that trusting ability to let go of what you want certainty about, and to let go of where you hope to be. Not that you shouldn't work towards that ideal or that goal, right? But to let go of the results. Don't get hung up on clinging to those results, because sometimes the things put in our life, when we surrender the results, we just focus on doing our best, we surrender the results, and things turn out better than we could have imagined, right? And eventually we get that certainty, right? We get to that moment we were waiting for. It's a year later, and we have the house that we wanted, a house, and we wanted a family, and we have that. And now we have certainty in those things, right? And now we're looking towards the future, uncertain of something else. Will my family do well? Will my children grow up and prosper? So it doesn't do well to dwell on that, right? Certainty is a nice thing, but you have to focus on the certainty that is within your control in the moment. I'm certain that I'm sitting in my car, and that whether or not my car starts or not when I turn the key, I'm certain that I will live and survive and thrive because I choose to do that, right? So the certainty really comes down to things that are within your control. And things that are not within your control, don't look for certainty with. That's where you just need to have faith. That's the balancing act, is to have faith. That's why it's important to have faith. Because the things that are outside of your control, you can't be certain about. And so it benefits you to have faith that things will work out for your better and for the better of the loved ones that you're also probably concerned about. So, next time you're looking for certainty, especially when you're looking for certainty in something that is beyond your control, like the future, or like other people, have faith. Have faith that they will act out of their best intentions, and they will act out of their best character and conscience, and that the future will turn out wonderful. Because guess what? How long has the world been around? And it's still here, and we have evolved immensely. So all those things that the cavemen were probably uncertain about, like, will we live another day? Here we are, their offspring, living another day, not living in caves anymore, but now we're living in houses with electricity and, heat and plumbing and comfort, and with cozy chairs and hard floors that water doesn't seep through, and everything else we take for granted, which reminds me of another video I need to make. So, have certainty. When you can't have certainty in faith, and have faith.